Back to my channel. I'm going to be setting up today a M1 Mac Mini from brand new with all my preferences as I like them for my development environment. We're going to be installing Python and Node, and we're going to be setting up various keys in order to be able to kind of authenticate with GitHub, so SSH keys, and setting up the OS in my preferred way. So I've been sitting here all weekends waiting to record a video to be able to do this, and getting very frustrated with the various OS preferences that I dislike. So I think it's high time that I change them and we get this thing set up. So yeah, so the first thing I'm going to do is set up my OS preferences. So if you go to System Preferences, and the first thing I absolutely hate, which you'll see if I bring up the window here, is just the scroll direction. So natural scroll is just not for me. I absolutely hate it. Every single Mac I instantly change it. So we're going to be going to our mouse and switching that off. And another thing I dislike is actually having so many icons down the bottom. We don't need all these. I don't use half of them. So I'm going to be removing them. So remove from dark, remove from dark, and I'll just keep doing this until I get everything off that I don't use, which is most of it. I don't have any need for this stuff as a developer. And notice all the interesting sounds that have been added as part of, I don't know if it's Big Sur or Catalina. I was on the one prior to that, I can't even remember his name. Crumbs, look at all this rubbish. Almost there. And photos as well, because I'm not going to be putting any photos on here. It's development machine. Launchpad. No, don't need that, I don't think. I actually don't like having the recents down there as well. So I'm going to remove them. And so we've got this nice clean dock now. And as well as that, I'm going to make the dock automatically hide. So we've got a really nice, so it only comes up when I now scroll down the bottom. So I've now got all my OS preferences, so I can finally scroll in the right direction. Oh, I've been waiting a weekend for this. Amazing. So another thing that I've hit while coming back from Ubuntu to macOS is the fact that I don't have a nice way of being able to switch between windows. So we have these various keys that we can use. I have two desktops at the moment because I quite like that. So being able to switch between desktops is a nice thing, I think, and I liked it on Ubuntu. So I've started using that within Mission Control. But the thing that I'm missing is the ability to be able to like split these across screens. That's going to be something that I'm going to want to use. Previously, there used to be an app called Spectacle, but that is no more. It is no longer maintained. So I found this, which is Rectangle. And actually, I think I might have already downloaded this. Yeah, there we go, downloads. So let's put it across. And let's eject that and start it up. And this is a little bit more primitive than what's on Windows and what is on Ubuntu, but you can see now I get the ability to be able to split screens, so I can have one window there, one window there, and the key combos for these are quite nice as well. So I think it's Command and Alt, is it? Yeah, so it is Command Option and J U I O, sorry, I K J U. So you can see it moving around the screen. So I can put it into any of the particular corners, but if I can then drag it to a particular half of the screen, a column. Yeah. So I think there's one more preference in Finder that I want to add, which is the favorites here. So the favorites don't include at the moment like the root of my machine, which I do like having displayed because I just find it a little bit easier. So let's find preferences and ping it there and make it the top thing. Yeah. So when I first started this, I said that this was brand new. There was a couple of things I have actually done, which is update it to the latest version of Big Sur. So we're on 11.2.2. So hopefully I've heard that this is the one that kind of resolves a number of the Bluetooth issues. I still seem to be suffering from a few things, which I will update in another video in kind of full blown review of stuff. But the other thing I did was install my password manager, NPass, and as a result that's installed Rosetta already, so I won't need to install Rosetta as part of doing any of the stuff that I'm talking about here. So we are going to carry on. We now can get into terminal stuff. So if I bring up terminal, and the first thing we'll find is I'm Python dev, so I wanted to check out what version this ships with. And it's 2.7.16, which is the most up-to-date version of 2.7, but 2.7 is deprecated, and it has been for all of 2020. So that's not good. We want to immediately get on and start installing things that we need. The first thing that we need to install better versions of Python and more recent ones, and the ability to switch between environments and stuff. So the first thing we're going to do is install the Xcode tools. So these are often needed and in fact actually if I do Python 3, you'll find that Python 3 is a stub and it requires, would you like to install the command line developer tools? So let's go and do that, and I'm sure this will take forever because it's typically, look at that, 2 hours and 24 minutes. So yeah, I guess I'll fast forward this part of the video. Nobody needs to see that. Hooray! That was definitely not 2 seconds. Okay. Next. Oh my gosh, let's customize this. Let's see if we actually need, well actually, saying that, probably the most sensible thing to have before that is Homebrew. So Homebrew is a package manager for macOS that most developers are using. Let's come out of that and let's install Homebrew first. So let's see how much of this is able to carry on without breaking. It's worth bearing in mind that anything that I hit here in terms of it not being M1 optimized, etc. Yeah, I'm not aware of. We shall see if we have to do any workarounds as a result. Okay. Opt Homebrew bin is not in your path. Add Homebrew to your path in Z profile by doing this. Okie dokie, let's do that then. And then can we brew? Aha. Cool, so we have Homebrew. So, having done that, let's now install Oh My Zush. I think that's as I'd expect it to look. Yeah, so done. Just didn't notice anything much happening. Okay, so now we're on to SSH keys now. Fun stuff. Let's get rid of this. And we can see here is just follow the steps that GitHub gives us. So I really miss the paste from Ubuntu as well. So I'm missing features from Ubuntu, having been working on it for some time, for a year now, and I'm coming back to macOS mainly because I'm missing the design apps that I had on macOS. Anyway, let's do this. Keygen, generating this. Okay. Enter passphrase. Okay. Aha, done. Cool. Okay. So let's start the SSH agent in the background. Please use the default macOS SSH add. So let's do that. Start it. If you're using Mac, Sierra or later, you need to modify your SSH config file to automatically load keys. So have we got that SSH config? No, we got nothing there. So let's touch it. But that is not the commands, which is weird. Why is it? Anyway, there we go. Now I can open it and insert the what I'm being told to. There you go, cool, done. Add your SSH private key to the SSH agent and store your passphrase in the keychain. Cool, okay. Cool, all done. So we got SSH key. What next? So the next thing I want to do is add a GPG key. So let's look up generating GPG key. There we go. Download and install the GPG command line calls for your operating system. So I actually think this is possible with brew. So you can just do brew install GPG. Let that run through and just do its thing. So while we're doing that, let's go to GitHub and add okay, so we finished doing the GPG stuff. Open SSL, unbound new utils, GPG. Oops. Okay, that seems to be there. We've got what version it is. 2227. Fair enough. Okay. SSH and GPG keys. There we go. Let's add a new SSH key. So we need to copy this from where we were before. So pb copy, I think, will allow me to do that without you seeing what it is and post it on the internet like some kind of, because I obviously know that I'm in demand. Let's do that. PB copy. No, that's not right. Okay, did that work? And actually, it's a public key anyway, so it doesn't matter if you see it. What we're going to call this. So this is my new Mac Mini, but a 2021 one. Or should I call it Mac Mini? Or should I call it M1 Mac Mini? That rolls off the tongue nicer. So add SSH key. I have to use my security key for that. So I'll just get that out and bang my head. Boop. There you go. Thank you very much. Sorted. Now let's go back to the generate a GPG key. So generate full key. Enter to accept the defaults. Okay, so it must be at least 4096 according to this. Key doesn't expire. Is this correct? What's my name? Okay, cool. So key is generated. List the GPG keys. Here long. So the GPG key is 3AA in that example. So in mine, it is this. And okay, so we then need to do GPG armor export. So we now have SSH keys, GPG keys. That should mean that I'm then able to just pull down something from GitHub. So what is my most recent? That's a private one. Let's go for a public one. That's private as well. Private. Let's pull that one. Okay, so copy that. So we got nothing there at the moment, fresh. Let's just make a dev directory. And if you do that, is that going to work? Ooh, yeah. Okay, so if we go into OpenGraph and actually make an update to the README just to see if that works. Oh, no, we want that one. Yeah. Okay, so we can see we've made an update. Whoops, I'm still using my your name and new email address were configured automatically based on your username and hostname. So let's set up that as well. Paste. Okay, let's undo these. Balls. Forget we're dealing with Vim. Okay, so we can now do this and correct the commit that we've just made. Okay, git push. Will that do anything? So I'm not sure if that will have actually been. Oh, it is a verified one. That wasn't me. No, that was off the. That was off my last machine. So yeah, that wasn't a verified commit. Let's have a look at. Oh, what am I doing? I can't see what I want to be doing. So, commit blah, authored, committed 1 minute ago. Oh, if I compare that to all the commits that I've made, you'll see that these two are verified. So I think there's a missing step that we've not done. Add the GPG key. Signing commits. So we can sign it, but we want to automatically sign it. So we can run that. Okay. And let's do that as well, because we want to auto sign everything. That's not what I've copied. Did I actually copy it? Hey, why you no copy? Okay, you did copy. Well, why are you pasting a weird thing? And I don't know what's going on there. So we now have different commits. I'm going to need to push that and force it back in order to make sure it overwrites the previous commit. Let's see what that looks like when I refresh the page. Okay. Tell Git about your signing key. Okay, so we need to bring that back up. Why do I keep pasting in commands that... Okay, so git config global user dot signing key. Okay, and then can we... So if you aren't using the GPG suite, then paste this. I don't know what that means. Okay, I think that last command is what we need. Let's amend reset author and do that again. Ooh. Okay, so we do already have the signing key there. What am I doing? So we didn't need to do any of that. So do we need to do this? Let's try and open up a different profile and just make sure that we're not. Let's do sudo nano readme. In fact, actually, let's do that this way. So let's just add a little extra line so we can see we've got a bit more. So we're now getting a failure. Oh, that's brilliant. Okay, let's put this into a profile. Maybe not that. Copy, paste, new one. Okay, we're getting a fail to sign the data. What is doing that? Okay, I'm going to come away from this now because I think it's going to take me too long. It's taken me ages already, so let's skip over this. And so we've installed GPG, we're not getting it to sign properly. I think the next thing I'm going to do is actually, I haven't yet installed Chrome, which is a bit silly because that is something that I use all the time. So we install Chrome. 438 megs, wow. Okay. Let's carry on using Safari for now. Something else we need to install is Docker. So we want the M1 preview, which is this. Set that off, see if we can still figure out what's going on here. So we have Docker. Let's install Docker. So this is a preview build of Docker, and I'll let you know how I get on with it because it's unclear whether or not it's going to work well or not. I would imagine if it's in beta, there's probably still going to be things that are not great with it. It's buggy, so okay, drag and drop. Ooh, lovely, nice red preview. 1.51 gigs. Okay, so Docker done, eject Docker. I'm going to forget about the GPG issues for now, but the next thing I'm going to do is install Python. So now we have brew. Let's install PyEnv, which will allow us to manage Python versions. So if I go back to there, and let's just install what is the latest version you have at the moment? So we are up to 3.9.1 by the looks of it. 3.9.1. That's available in PyEnv. So let's install that. Okay, so Python's finished. Let's set our global PyEnv to what we've just installed, so 3.9.1. And then that should give us okay. So we've now got Python 3, which we didn't have before. That's just by virtue of installing the command line tools, I would have thought. PyEnv versions system. That's interesting. Do you see that? They scrolled off. Okay. So, global version Python is still 2.7, which is not what we want. Okay, let's add PyEnv auto completion to the end of Z shell. There we go. Okay, so is that what it was doing? Yeah, okay, so we now got PyEnv running as the global Python, which is what we want. What next? Poetry. So we want Poetry, which is a Python package manager, and I've used on a couple of my blog posts already. And again, I'm just going to paste this command. Off we go. So there is other ways that you can install Poetry. You can install it through other scripts and through pipex, which is kind of like a global manager of Python applications. And in fact, that is something that I need to install as well. But the recommended version, a recommended installation method is through that command. So let's just run this command. So we have Poetry installed. Fantastic. Now on to Node, which is in fact actually, so I want to install MVM, not Node. Because similarly as to PyEnv, I just want to have something to be able to manage multiple versions of Node. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so close and open your terminal to start using it now. I don't know if it actually means to. Let's cancel that one. In fact, let's new window. Trying to remember these key commands. So do we have Node? So what about an MVM? MVM's not there. Oh, interesting. Okay. So hang on a minute. This is simply because I didn't close it properly. Let's try that again then. No. So the suggested thing there is that ZS HRC isn't there, which it is. You might need to run this or run that. Okay, so MVM's there, but does it disappear? Yeah, okay, well, let's just proceed like that, and then I'll figure out why it's not global. So npm install node, which will be the latest version of node. So I have no idea if this will work on M1. And Node isn't my forte. I'm generally a back-end guy, but having nodes available is useful. Back after a little bit of an interlude there. So yeah, Node is finished installing, and we have now got Node version 15.10. So, but the other thing that I have found is that the problems that I was having with Zshell and the global versions of NVM is down to the way the profile is sourced. So if I open a new tab, and I try and use NVM straight off the bat, it's not installed. But if I try and source profile and then do NVM, it's there. And that's because as we've been installing stuff, it's been automatically adding things to the profile, which is, as I said at the beginning of the video, is no longer used because that's bash. It's no longer used by default because we're using Zshell. So what we need to do is so if we look in our root, with hidden files there. So we've got a profile, but we also have a Z profile. Z profile is what Zshell's using. So we need to echo this source straight into the Z profile, or at least that's what I think we need to do. So I'll do that there. And then when I open a new tab, nice. So okay, let's back out of this and just open terminal again. Okay, well that didn't work. What about Z S H R Z? Okay, so for some reason it needs to be added as SHRC. I'll go and delete that in a bit. I don't know what's in Z profile, so I'm assuming that I probably shouldn't have put it there. Anyway, let's carry on. That also resolved the GPG issues. So I was able to sign commits. It asked me to enter my passwords, and I was able to sign commit, and you can see it's properly signed off with my GPG key now. So we have signed commits going into GitHub. The last thing I'm going to do here is just do npm install global yarn, which installs yarn for us, because I like using yarn. And I think that's almost everything that I wanted to show, except for we can now go off and install some nice front end or nice IDE type stuff. So let's go with Visual Studio Code. Let's actually cancel that and see if there's a Visual Studio Code M1. Insiders channel. Ooh, isn't. So there's a Visual Studio Code, an M1 version, Intel chip, Anakin's Apple Silicon chip. Allow that. Let's see if that works. Okay, so we are downloading. And while we're doing that as well, let's get PyCham started. Download. Let's get the community one. Allow. Right, so Visual Studio Code. What is that? Is that actually an app? Okay, let's move that somewhere else. Okay, so we should have an M1. Let's open our Puppeteer one that we just did. Ah, right. So was that because? Oh, nice. Now I see why my Z shell stuff wasn't working. Okay, I'll go and correct that. So I think the Z profile thing will work. In fact, let's do that now. Can we do code here now? I'm going to have to set that up as well. Whoa, PyCham's still going. So I prefer it to be in the right place. I don't think it, I think we should be, so if we remove that from that folder, then when we do a tab now, we should hopefully, yay, okay. So we've got the profiles, saying Z profile is in the right place. Let's get the community edition of PyCham on. So we should have Python 391. Yep. Okay. Got code open. Let's have a look at PyCham. PyCham's here. We should also have Node. Node's not being found. Why is Node doing? Is that because of? Okay, yeah, it's just because that's an old version of the shell there. Blah blah blah. Yep. Don't send. Okay. Let's open. I should have probably checked if there was an M1 build of PyCham actually. Okay, stop asking me. Bleh. Why is Python use that version? Okay, what are you doing here? Okay. So there's a separate PyCham for apical silicon. So let's download that. And we can see it's a different name. So it's uninstall. It says check Docker as well. Have you got that in the command line? No. But is that again because I've now? No, it's not. Okay. Maybe it's because I haven't actually started it. Okay, well, let's start Docker. Okay. Okay, Docker seems to be there now. So that is running. Cool. Okay, so there we go. That's running, but we just got this error message about the requested images. So about platform differences, ARM versus AMD. But I'm not going to worry too much about that now. It's installed, it's running. Let's just stop that container. Cool, okay. Let's empty that bin. And let's install the actual PyCham that we want. Interestingly, that doesn't show it as a community edition. PyCham Professional. Have I just downloaded the wrong? Dimble. So that's almost done. Come on. Let's get rid of that one because we don't want that one now. There we go. Okay. So this is the last thing. We've shown that we've got everything installed. We're running Python, we're running Docker. I suppose we could look for yarn. Oh no, I just created a yarn file. Let's remove that. I'm sure that's something that a lot of people would do. And we are in PyCham even though we are opening a non-Python project. Yeah, so I think that's everything that I wanted to cover. Final point here, I've returned to this the next day, so and looking at that, and I've realised I haven't actually added any icons to the toolbar here as part of the setup process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add them now. I'm going to remove Safari because I don't use that. I'm going to add Chrome because I use that all the time. So we shall keep that in the dock. I'm also going to add Terminal because I use that. And we can also add in Visual Studio Code as a text editor. I have Sublime normally, but I've been using Visual Studio Code quite a lot. Let's quit each of these. I will organize these so they look a little bit better. And then PyCham is the last one that I generally have available. So let's keep in dock and quit that out. So yeah, there we go. We've got everything that we need. Available terminals usually my one that's at the end there. So yeah, and so we've got a nice clean setup, and I can get to writing some code. So yeah, I hope that's been good for anybody who's been watching it. I hope you've enjoyed going through the process and experienced some of the problems that I've hit myself. Yeah, if you like this, then please consider subscribing to my channel. I would really appreciate that, and I look forward to speaking to you in another video. All right, bye then.